Tonight, designing the family you want. The eating program allowing couples to select the sex of their babies. Plus, our exclusive with Marion Jones, the fastest woman on earth and a real star here at Brisbane's Goodwill Games. Hi and welcome to the QE2 Stadium, where the athletics, as you can see, are now well and truly underway. And Marion Jones will feature in the 100 metres a little later. But first tonight, the boat people from the Tampa. Now, they may be out of sight of Australian territory, but certainly not out of mind. Federal police are not yet sure whether packages of bullets and detonators sent to Kim Beazley, Natasha Stott-Despoja and Greens Senator Bob Brown are linked to the Tampa issue. But all three politicians have criticised the government's handling of the boat people. Public opinion polls, however, still show overwhelming support for the Prime Minister. And civil liberties lawyers who are fighting a court battle to have the boat people return to Australia concede that they are facing a real backlash.
Already made his decision. He's in charge of the country. We voted him in. Let him make his choice.
Here are people who are being held, presumably not at their own wishes.
Oh, I think they're parasites. They're the parasites of our society in this country.
Oh, it's a picnic for lawyers, isn't it, like everything else is?
I think they should be helping people in Australia, not refugees trying to get in illegally.
The Tampa asylum seekers might be on the move, but if these legal eagles get their way in the federal court in Melbourne, they won't be gone for long.
If we win, the people are meant to be brought back to Australia. But clearly the federal government intend to appeal if we win, and if that occurs, they'll be kept on the boat until the full court of the federal court orders otherwise.
It might be a dry old legal argument, but Greg Connellan, lawyer and civil libertarian, who's dragged the dispute into court, says legal action was the only option.
The government asserts that we're wrong. We assert that we're right. Under a democratic system, only the court can determine who's right.
They're representing a limited minority. I'd like to know who the finance is behind them.
But as far as I'm concerned, the boat people, they come into the country illegally. The Norwegian captain was told not to come into territorial waters. So that's a foregone conclusion as far as I'm concerned.
Now, from what I understand, the majority of Australians agree with the Prime Minister's stance on this.
That appears to be what is reported in the media, yes.
You and some of the other lawyers have received some very negative reaction.
I've received some pretty abusive calls at times. That's just part and parcel of standing up for people's rights when it's an unpopular cause.
You can't say anything to do-gooders. They think they're doing the world's best thing. You might as well put a snake in their pocket, and they still think it's pretty good.
If most Australians agree with the Prime Minister, what's the point of you going the other way?
Because nobody has been pointing out to most Australians that our government may be using the army to enforce an unconstitutional act.
They may not have a country, but the Tampa boat people do have the cream of Australia's barristers, who usually work for $5,000 a day, representing them for nix.
Everybody who's working on this case, from our point of view, is working voluntarily. The barristers, the solicitors, and the members of the Council of Civil Liberties.
So if you lose, who's going to foot the bill, pay the government's costs?
Well, it's up to the court. If the court orders that we have to pay the federal government's costs of this matter, then we're going to have to foot the bill and we'll have to find the money.
How?
Well, we'll probably have to fundraise.
And how? What, chook raffles?
Chook raffles, probably, yeah. We'll have to raise funds to meet the bill.
That's a lot of chooks.
They're just prolonging the agony of those people. I mean, those people are staying on the water. They could be on the ground somewhere, whether it's Christmas Island or somewhere else. It makes no difference.
Do the refugees know you're representing them?
We've been trying to get them, or we've been trying to inform them about that, but the federal government won't let us
do that.
So as far as we know, they don't know.
So you haven't spoken to them?
We're not allowed to speak to them. That's one of the fundamental problems. If the government would allow us to speak to them, this problem may well have been resolved on Friday.
But how can you represent them when they don't know you're representing them?
Because under the Australian law and the old English common law, where a person is imprisoned and they cannot get before the court themselves to challenge that imprisonment, a third party is able to do it. We're the third party.
If they want to come here, they should come legally. If they come back here, it's not right.
In a democracy, you're going to have rednecks anyway. It's always going to be 2 or 3% of people that are basically idiots, so you've got to expect it.
Well, listen to what the public want, stop wasting the money and the time, and just get on with it. Just leave it alone. It's finished.
Martin King reporting there in Melbourne. And an Aussie is just about to win the 20-kilometre walk, as you can hear. Now to our continuing investigation of the Australian Tax Office and its heavy-handed treatment of innocent Australians. Suburban accountant Sam Casaniti was recently raided by a team of no less than 40 officers from the National Crime Authority, the Tax Department and the New South Wales Police. And he says that's just the latest in a 6-year campaign of harassment and intimidation.
Given the scrutiny you've attracted, if you'd done anything wrong, would they have found it by now?
Yes, I'd say so, but what they're doing in effect is justifying all the millions they've spent to date. They've got to find something to justify all this money. And they wouldn't have spent this much money on Alan Bond, I don't think. It's outrageous.
Sam Casaniti is no Alan Bond. He's just a suburban accountant. Yet he claims for 6 years the tax office has been out to get him. And there's substantial evidence, even from within the tax department, to suggest he may be right.
It shows that they can bully and pick on people when they want, and they can be as malicious as they like, and there really is nobody there to regulate them. Yeah, Ali.
It started back in 1995 when 2 of Sam's clients complained to the tax office about his fees and that he deducted those fees from the client's tax returns.
Standard practice all around Australia.
We all have our fees deducted from our tax returns.
Well, some people you can choose to do it that way, or you may not do. It's up to the person.
And you had proper authority to do that?
Definitely.
One of those clients worked for the tax department, and Sam has a tape recording of the phone threats he says started this whole saga off. The Listening Devices Act prevents us from playing the tape, but this is a faithful representation taken from transcripts from the Tax Ombudsman's report.
You know, I work for taxation, so you know you shouldn't stuff us around this way. You're going to be hung by the you know. I'm sorry, that's it. That's the law. You me around, you're going to get screwed right up the
Yeah, she was right. They can have you by the balls at any time.
The original complaints led to a full-scale investigation into Sam Casaniti, but things took a strange turn. ATO investigator Alan McKenty handed the confidential tax records of 48 of Sam's clients to police.
The auditor formed his own opinion, released everything he could to the state police here in Liverpool, told them to investigate me, told them all about my practice, in breach of all the secrecy provisions.
Within a year, Sam had his home and office raided by police. No charges were ever laid. And in September 1996, he was described in this letter from the Police Fraud Enforcement Agency to the Taxation Office as a common target of the ATO. What was this tax auditor's aim in releasing those confidential files of your clients to police?
Well, if he could have me charged with an offence, any offence, I would lose my tax agent's licence. And that would put me out of business.
Sam's complaints eventually led to an internal ATO investigation. Senior investigator Paul Malone found that the auditor unlawfully passed taxation information to the New South Wales Police, concluding the allegation has been substantiated. The allegation about the threatening phone call made by the female ATO officer had also been substantiated. Did the tax office ever admit to you they'd done the wrong thing?
Not in those words. I have a letter of apology after Peter Hagstrom asked them, have you apologised to this man? In the same reply to Hagstrom, they wrote back to me, and I have the letter here, and what he apologises for is the distress. I am aware of the distress you have felt over this matter. On behalf of the ATO, I would like to apologise for that distress and assure you that actions have taken to ensure that these events do not reoccur.
That should have been the end of that, but the ATO has informed Sam that 200 of his clients are being subject to an audit. Sam is personally being audited, and he fears it's all related.
In some ways, I regret complaining from day one. I was better off crawling under my shell and going away, because they only despise you more, and they keep looking and looking for more.
There's also the continuing interest of the police. In 1999, a year after the tax office apology, more than 100 of his clients were contacted by police about the original allegation, his fees. But in a report to the Commissioner of Taxation, the then Tax Ombudsman Peter Hagstrom had this to say about police interest.
The release of the ATO records to the Fraud Enforcement Agency is the principal or sole cause of the Fraud Enforcement Agency's current interest in Mr. Casaniti.
I can't fathom how they've spent, probably millions of dollars.
But how they justify it even is the question. I mean, how do you justify that? Millions of dollars spent getting one accountant in Liverpool. It's not Alan Bond, it's not Christopher Skase. It's ridiculous.
Now the NCA is on the Sam Casaniti case. With ATO officers, they recently raided his home and his business. For Sam and wife Patricia, It's too coincidental.
Oh, in my heart, I haven't got any doubts. But they make you question yourself and search. But when you search, you know that we haven't done anything at all.
So you won't comment on the Sam Casaniti case?
I will not. I'm prevented by law from talking about individual matters, and the reason for that is I do hold a position of trust.
Neil Mann is the Deputy Commissioner for Taxation. Although he stands by the Privacy Act, he did want to respond to that phone call by the tax officer. The tax officer making a phone call saying, you're going to be hung by the bleep, that's the law, you bleep me around and you're going to get bleeped up the bleep.
That's totally outrageous, unacceptable, and has been dealt with.
In what fashion?
I can't go into the details by law. I can say appropriate action has been taken, and we'll make sure in any similar circumstances we will do likewise.
Like the Ian McCarthy case, the Casaniti case does raise serious questions about how the ATO deals with complaints, an issue highlighted in last year's Senate inquiry findings.
By and large, our staff do act with honesty and integrity. In an organisation of some 20,000 people, from time to time, people will not uphold the expectations we have of them.
As for Sam Casaniti, all will eventually be told in court. He's suing the tax officer involved and to date has spent $400,000 defending his reputation.
Moral of the story is not to upset them. And take whatever they give you, I think, because you can't win.
Jane Hanson with that investigation. But up next, choosing the sex of your baby. And what you eat can hold the key.
Our success rate is a bit over 75%, which means that 3 out of 4 couples get what they want.
This program brought to you by the all-new Nissan Pulsar hatch. All-new attitude.
Traditional ideals still mean something at Knights Quality Window Fashions.
Dress up your windows and reduce heat and glare with Roman Beach and Vision blinds from Knights. Roman blinds are available in a huge range of decorator fabrics to enhance your decor, and the trend-setting beach blinds are ideal for less formal living. Both Roman and beach blinds give you precise control over sunlight entering your home. Knights fully adjustable Vision blinds allow you to control light and glare while maintaining your view of the outside world.
Knights Quality Window Fashions, continuing the tradition.
Until Sunday, Target is giving a flat 20% off the marked price of Manchester. 20% off sheets, curtains, quilts, pillows and towels. But hurry, because Target can only decrease their prices for so long.
At the Big Captain Snooze birthday sale, pop in for big savings on a big range with no deposit, interest-free finance. Save up to $800 off bedroom suites and beds at the Big Captain Snooze birthday sale.
The Challenge. Find a car with more features than Nissan Pulsar for $19,990. Enter Pulsar Plus Pack, exclusive to National Capital Motors. With air, CD, airbag, alloys, keyless entry, central locking, rear spoiler, immobiliser and a 6-year warranty free. All this for just $19,990. Proof that Pulsar Plus Pack meets the challenge. Exclusive to
National Capital Motors, the competitors.
It's about good-spirited humour, a romantic adventure full of ups and downs.
I hear you like to ride.
Very funny.
On a drama-packed day, a drovers run.
That's how my cash is wasted.
Sisters clash.
I have no doubt that you know this place back to front. That's right. So just let me do it.
A daughter's failure.
I bombed out in my exams. What are you doing?
And mortal fear revealed.
No, we're going to go down, one step at a time. Hey!
McLeod's Daughters, Wednesday night, 7:30 on WIN.
For centuries, there have been superstitions and homespun theories about what couples need to do if they want a baby boy or a girl. Well, now a holistic fertility expert from Melbourne claims she has a method that really works, and it's all a matter of diet and timing.
Well, I've always wanted a boy.
It'll be good, some lunch, won't it? All mothers would like a little girl.
Whether it's a boy or girl you're aiming for, diet and timing could be the recipe for the baby of your dreams.
Well, I'm offering them the chance of increasing their chances of a girl or boy and basically just balancing their family.
With dwindling family sizes and couples waiting longer to have children these days, more and more expectant parents are going to extraordinary lengths to ensure their bundle of joy is not only healthy, but the sex of their choice. It's part of an increasing trend towards designer families, couples who've got their hearts set on a little girl or little boy, resorting to just about anything to get what they want.
My success rate is a bit over 75%.
Sue Roebuck claims to have influenced the sex of almost 500 Australian babies.
Sue, are you toying with nature? Not at all. This is completely natural.
Young Fraser has always been the apple of Dad's eye.
Did it make a noise?
But when Emma and Andrew Douglas decided to try for a second child, they turned to Sue Roebuck for help.
It was very exciting knowing that we were trying to conceive a girl. The main thing I had to increase was dairy products, so a lot of milk, cheese, yoghurt.
I was quite confident we were going to get what we set out to achieve.
What's happened, Fraser?
And along came Charlotte.
Well, I think it's fantastic that in this day and age that you can, by a method such as this, enhance your chances of getting the boy and the girl.
Now, what should you be eating if you want a girl?
Well, it's most important to have 3/4 of a litre of milk a day, and also to minimise your quantities of meat, fruit and vegetables.
And for a boy?
You have to have a lot of salt. You have to have a banana every day, lots of orange juice, and fairly large quantities of fruit and vegetables.
And look at me. Ready? We'll get this on.
Lynn Stremecki loves her 2 boys, but she's longing for a mother-daughter bond.
There's a lot of things that I like to pass on through, whether it be wisdom, experience. Boys don't seem to have quite the same interest level.
OK, Lynn, so you'd like a little girl?
Yes.
Sue says a computerised health scan assesses whether Lynn is ready for her special diet.
That's good. Well, it's actually more difficult trying to have a girl because the diet is a lot more difficult. It needs a lot of perseverance and motivation to actually succeed in it.
Lynn, these are some of the things you're encouraged to have on the diet.
Absolutely. We have low sodium bread, lots and lots of water, plenty of dairy products, eggs, some fruit like apples, but these are my downfalls: coffee, sugar, fruit like bananas that are high in potassium.
They're forbidden?
They're out.
So you don't see it as taking nature into your own hands?
No more than people have done throughout the centuries.
The diet was hard at first because you couldn't have any dairy.
Paula Jones has already been blessed with a daughter. She tried for a son.
Well, they climb trees, they don't screech and scream around.
Braden arrived as planned.
There was just this satisfaction that was hard to explain, that I had one of each. When you go out, you know, people just say to you all the time, you're so clever. And I just sort of snigger. For a girl, you need to try 3 days before ovulation. For a boy, it's in that 12 to 24 hours before the egg is released.
Sue conducts microscopic examinations of samples. She says pinpoint the perfect time to conceive.
Looks like you're in luck to try for your little girl tonight.
The men are expected to do their bit too.
In the case of a girl, he needs to wear tight underwear, tight-fitting pants, because heat isn't as attractive for male sperm. They tend to die off more quickly.
If society were to move en masse in this direction, I would be very concerned.
Father Norman Ford is a doctor in ethics.
It would be a sign that we're not giving equal chances, equal opportunity and equal worth to males and females in the community.
Through IVF, it's actually illegal to choose the sex of your child. Why should it be okay for you to be able to do that?
I'm not discarding anything, so whatever I get, I get. There's no loss of embryonic life.
I think it is natural. You're not taking pills, you're not doing anything strange.
How do your patients take it when the method doesn't work?
Well, look, there can always be, of course, that little bit of disappointment.
I would have great problems if there's going to be any discrimination shown to the child because it was not of the gender that was desired by the couple.
I think it's up to each, the parents to decide, and no one else can say whether it's wrong or right.
Mimi Quar in Melbourne reporting there. And holistic fertility practitioner Sue Roebuck will be in our online chat room tonight. If you want to contact her, there's the address, 9msn.com.au/ACA. And coming up, Marion Jones, the fastest woman on earth. But she knows she can even do better.
I want to win more gold medals. I want to win more.
They wielded absolute power.
You're invincible.
But now, as the torch is passed on,
He wanted you to take his place. We have to show the other families that we're still in control.
they'll discover their deadliest enemy lies within.
Someone is trying to take away everything we have worked for.
And their greatest battle is just beginning.
No one is what they seem. This is an all-out war.
Jason Gedrick, Danny Aiello and Kirstie Alley in the next shocking chapter of the last great American crime family.
Do you have any idea what they do to people here? It's what scriptures and prayers. I want my son back.
A premiere special presentation.
Counts.
Mario Puzo's The Last Don 2, 8:30 Sunday on WIN.
Attention bargain hunters, look at this week's specials. Export degreaser $1.20, foldable workbench $24.95, 20-pack of toilet paper $4.95, and waterproof travel mats $14.95. Be quick, at these prices they won't last. Available at all Clints and the warehouse stores where everyone gets a bargain.
Now you can get that professionally clean feeling twice a day, every day at home. Introducing the Braun Oral-B 3D XL. It's the world's only toothbrush that gently pulsates 40,000 times per minute, reaching deep between teeth to remove more harmful plaque than an ordinary toothbrush for that professionally clean feeling every day. The new Braun Oral-B 3D XL. Clean so deep your teeth feel professionally clean.
Get to Mums and Bubs for great savings on grow years, top cots and nursery furniture. Remember, there's always something for Mum and something for Bub at Mums and Bubs, Fishwick. Don't miss out.
Quality and value, traditional ideals that still mean something at Knight's Quality Window Fashions.
The blinds that you choose for your home change its look and character. Knights offer a range of top quality Venetian and cedar blinds with features such as remote, dual or mono control options, plus the Good Nighter for almost total light exclusion. Like all of Knight's products, quality of materials and processes are paramount in the production of the blinds you select for your home.
Knight's Quality Window Fashions, continuing the tradition.
Actu AGL Energy Shop. Service and expert advice every time. The very best electrical and gas appliances. Heating, gas log fires, hot water, cooking and more. Actu AGL Energy Shop. Fishwick.
At the Big Captain Snooze birthday sale, pop in for big savings on a big range with no deposit, interest-free finance. Save up to $800 off bedroom suites and beds at the Big Captain Snooze birthday sale.
The Arias are coming soon to WIN Television.
Later tonight here at the QE2 Stadium, athletics fans will get to see one of the real superstars of the track. Triple Olympic gold medalist Marion Jones steps out in her pet event, the 100 metres. Blink and you'll miss it. David Margan has been talking with the champion who first dreamed of Olympic glory as a little girl watching the 1984 Games in Los Angeles.
I was 9 years old at the time, and I came home and wrote on my chalkboard that I wanted to be an Olympic champion because I'd seen it on television and I had witnessed a certain glimmer in the athletes' eyes when they crossed the finish line first, and I knew that I wanted to experience that.
I read that the quote actually was, "I will be an Olympic champion."
I don't remember
Not "I want to be," "I will be."
Terminology exactly, but all I remember is that I had Olympic champion.
But Jones staying clear. Jones is going to win.
And 17 years on, Marion Jones is just that, Olympic champion, but making light of all the years of effort that have gone into getting her there.
That. You know, I think people on the outside looking in really just specify and say hard work, but I really have a good time out there. I'm having a blast when I go out there and train, and I have a passion for what I do. I think people can see that when they see me compete. They really see that I enjoy what I do, and I'm not out there because I have to be, but because I want to be.
And you managed to do something that no woman has ever done before, and that's win 5 medals at the WIN Olympics. Now, how did that feel?
Oh, that was extraordinary. You know, I wanted to go to Sydney and come home with 5 gold medals, and that didn't happen. 3 golds and 2 bronze, not too shabby.
And you also managed to win the 100 metres in the biggest, by the biggest margin for 48 years. Yeah, so you're special.
I just have been blessed with a lot of talent. And I think a lot of times athletes forget about that. They forget about, yeah, we put in hard work, and yeah, but I've been blessed with some special genes, without a doubt, and I'm making the best of them.
What happened to you after the Sydney Olympics?
I think I'm a much more recognizable face everywhere I go, which has its ups and downs.
You want to be anonymous?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'd like to have the life that I did before the Games, still with the 5 medals. But I guess that's not going to happen. You know, I talk about the bad side of it, but there's so much good side of it also. I mean, getting a chance to travel all around the world, meet people, see so many little kids. I mean, it's really extraordinary when I can walk someplace and I see these kids and they know my name, and then they're like, you're great, and that's definitely the upside of it. Really, it is. I don't take it for granted at all. Any opportunity that I have to get the word out to young kids and young girls, I jump at the chance.
What's the word?
But just believe in your dreams. You know, sure, it sounds like, you know, the little term that everybody uses, believe in your dreams, but I'm sitting here saying that it really does work. It really does.
You're 25 now, you're a grown-up woman. What do you want to do now with your life? What do you want to be now? What's next?
I want to be, gosh, I have so many things that I still want to achieve in my life. In terms of sport, I would love to be a world record holder, as we spoke of earlier. I want to win more gold medals. I want to win more. And I want the title when I retire of perhaps being mentioned in the same names of a Carl Lewis or a Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Jesse Owens, perhaps one of the greatest ever.
So you're still writing things on the blackboard, are you?
The blackboard up here now.
Some might say she already is. Back in a moment.
Are you sick and tired of working hard to make somebody else rich?
Guess what?
There is a way out.
Money Series finale tonight on WIN.
What better way to start spring than with a new look and a brand new catalogue packed with decorating ideas during Carpet Court's Spring Spectacular. This tropical haven nylon twist with stain guard protection in 8 beautiful spring colours. From our Imperial Wool collection, superb textured 100% wool loop. And if it's timber floors you want, we're the experts. Carpet Court's Spring Spectacular catalogue sale. On now. Call 1320 64 for your nearest Carpet Court store.
It's hard for them to leave their mums. Pups need lots of extra care when they go to their new homes. But it's a new environment. They need someone to watch over them, make sure they're safe. And they need food that's specially made for pups to help them grow and to protect them.
Top breeders recommend Pedigree Puppy because it's a unique blend of quality ingredients and natural antioxidants that strengthen the immune system and protect your puppy from the start of life.
If everyone had Flakes Plus for breakfast like me, everyone would look forward to the morning like me. They'd have a great start with the delicious combination of flakes and fruits, get more out of their days, and have more fun like me. If everyone ate Flakes Plus, more people would enjoy the beach in the morning like me.
Then again, why don't you all just sleep in?
Uncle Toby's Flakes Plus, the secret to a great day. year's September 11 on WIN. Coming up, 2 great auctions, 2 nail-biting outcomes.
Going.
Location season finale coming up next on WIN.
Well, tomorrow night, why some Aussies are the world's worst drivers. Experts claim we are shockers, and they've got hidden video evidence to prove it.
Why does Mr. Average suddenly change when he gets behind the wheel? This guy. Why do you knock our nose off? Speeding, changing lanes with no indicators, tailgating and running red lights.
People generally overrate their own ability as a driver. Fluke a learner's permit test and you're out there, and we see the products of that every day. Everyone should drive like people are out to get them, because they are.
David Margan with that report tomorrow. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye for now.